was driving your car?
Cool. It runs like shit, but it's fun. I'll get there. It's exciting to just be on the street.
Yeah, it looks good at least.
No, it looks way better out here than it does inside, that's for sure. I'm happy with it.
Yay.
It's fun. Car's got the new EC lip on it also, but everything's paint matched. That one's a FRP version. And you got the new colorway for the Enki PF06s. And a much meatier tire than before, so the whole car looks kind of different now. Too late now. Type R. Everything's pretty much ready to go. We're just running out of time now because we got to get the cars over there. You'll be happy to know that we're not driving any of the cars this time though. We're actually going to trailer all 3 cars that we're bringing.
Too hot.
It's too hot and yeah. Yeah, no power steering, no EC. First time out of the shop. We haven't even seen this car outside yet at all since it's been painted. I think it looks pretty good. Well, this is it, guys. What do you think? This is the finished product for now. Good ride height, beefy tire, bronze TEs, new exceed lip, painted carbon hood, painted spoon mirrors, and a lot of little subtle touches that I'll show you guys more later. We gotta load this thing up right now and take it down in Nagoya because rolling is almost done. So we gotta get this car there. But dude, super happy with it. I think it looks really aggressive.
How many tires?
finally made it. Last run group, or last rolling group of the day. Got all 3 cars here. Just waiting in line, trying to figure out where to go. Well, made it. Unloaded. Just got to get the car inside now. Looking pretty good. Because David's reunited with his old car. How does it feel?
It's weird. It's like seeing the girl used to date.
Yeah. You're seeing your ex, but she's doing better now and shit. She's living in a different country. Got a makeover.
Yeah, it's still knowing all the flaws.
Yeah. Only you know the issues that she has.
Yeah.
Just look at the engine bay. It looks a lot better now. Yeah.
Okay.
You just fixed that yesterday. Because it was cracked right there.
Still same brake lines, huh? Oh, yeah. And still same fuel regulator.
Mm-hmm. It's still very much the same stuff. Yeah. Except for the intake manifold. The engine's the same. You didn't have a tuck radiator though, right?
No. Yeah.
Yeah. It's new.
That was one of the things I was probably going to do.
Yeah. And it's not the super smooth firewall anymore that you had.
It's finally the way I wanted it.
Yeah.
Damn, still the same clutch line too.
Yeah, it didn't change much on it.
Yeah. This was just underneath.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say steering rack's the same. I can tell. I remember.
Yeah, the great amount.
Again, someone's flaw.
Yeah.
When people don't get what they want, right? This came out good.
Cowl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cracking.
Hmm? Yeah. Late dinner after Wekfest roll-in at Suzuka parking area. Hopefully everybody stays awake on the way home. What's up, everybody? So we are at Wekfest Japan. I was in Golden Week traffic for the entire duration of the day, so I got here with an hour to spare before the show ended. Awards just happened, everyone's just starting to roll out, so can't really cover much of the show, but it seems like the car debuting here was an overwhelming success. I wish I was here to see it, but it is what it is. I'm not going to be upset about it. Either way, it's been a good day. And to kind of try to capture the rollout and our cars and see how it goes. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. There was some pretty cool stuff at the show though, like this Moontech Nismo R35 GT3. It's an actual Super GT car that they modified and turned into a street car. So this is a street version of a Super GT R35. Pretty crazy. I love that there's no livery on it. They just wrapped it in silver, but it still has all the retaining Super GT car bits. New custom one-off wheels, center lock wheels. It's cool. Definitely one of the highlights of the show. Had I been here to see it,
How's driving your car?
Cool. It runs like shit, but it's fun. I'll get there. It's exciting to just be on the street.
Yeah, it looks good at least.
No, it looks way better out here than it does inside, that's for sure. I'm happy with it.
Yay.
So this is like the first time in all the years that I've known David that we actually get to drive our cars together. And it's in Japan with his old coupe and my new EK9. It's pretty cool though. We had our VIP cars together at some point, but it's just a different experience with the Honda stuff, you know? Hopefully we get to cruise around in Osaka too.
They're like old dudes doing little younger kid stuff.
My back hurts. Not gonna lie, it's a weird feeling having this thing. Kind of one of those cars where I never thought I'd have it, or have it so soon, you know? And now I get to pull up next to David's old coupe. David finally gets to drive his car again in Japan, so.
Natural.
Yeah, very natural. I'm so sad, no Haribo anymore.
Oh no, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
At a rest stop taking a break. Got our friend Kumamoto's FL5 here, so you guys can see that the color is indeed the same. The flame red. Glad we didn't go with black wheels though. The bronze kind of contrasts with the red perfectly. We got the Mintia car up there and David's old coupe back there. This is the fire and ice combo right here. This is a better look at the new front lip for you guys that have been wondering. The new two-piece one. This one is the carbon version, but there's going to be an FRP version too. That one's also going to still be two-piece, but it just kind of gives people the option to add a splitter or like do like two different colors like how we have it here. Just opening up options for you guys, but you can see the profile looks pretty good, especially with this hood. Shabu for dinner, post car build and Wekfest celebration. So here's a look at the TE that was in the accident. This is the front wheel that took most of the impact, and this is the wheel that we said saved Yuma's life, because look at this thing. It absorbed all that impact, folded the entire car in half, but the face is still structurally there. It's still perfect. But the odd thing is, can't turn it. Look at the inside of the wheel. Look at the bulging. This is from where the caliper hit the wheel because we had big brakes on it, and for some reason it kind of like collapsed the barrel. You can see the paint from the caliper still too. Oh, there's the knuckle.
No more here. No more the ball joint.
Yeah, it's completely snapped off in an impact.
Oh, show the dashboard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is, ow, look at my hand on this thing. It's so sharp. But yeah, as you can see, the wheel is still very much structurally there. It's just, can't reuse it anymore just because it's, like, why would you? The dashboard actually bent and broke into 3 different pieces because the firewall was so pushed in. Looks okay now.
Yeah.
But we have photos of it where it's like bent like 3 different directions. Like even the console where the radio goes cracked in half. Hmm? Oh yeah. Here's what the bezel looked like for the radio bezel. See the whole chunk that's cracked off right there? And then it's cracked there too. But the head unit's okay.
Maybe.
The engine that actually is in the red EK9 now actually comes from this car, which is an old like Suzuka Clubman, like a one-make race car that Yasu bought. It has seen better days, but the engine was in really good condition. The original owner had the car built just for one race, and then he literally took the car out, crashed it, and then never drove it again. So Yasu got a hold of it, sold it, and then we pulled the motor from it to put into the EK9 because it was such a low mileage engine and it was kind of in perfect shape. So this car will eventually be rebuilt, but for now it just sits here. It's kind of a storage unit. And yeah, it's a future project, but yeah. The heart of this car is now inside the red EK9. Okay, now that we've had a couple of days to kind of catch up on sleep and unwind and everything, I can finally go over the car with you guys in a more completed state. There's still some stuff that needs to be done, but for the most part, I'd say the car is probably like 80% in terms of being where I want it to be. Damn, it's starting to rain. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I should probably clear up about, I guess, misconceptions or miscommunications about the car. This car is not the same chassis as the white one. We did not fix the white chassis. That white car was so damaged and destroyed that it was cut up and thrown away just because that's how bad it was. This is not the same chassis whatsoever. This is a completely new chassis. This is originally a Vogue Silver metallic car that we got from our friend. It is a EK9 N1, so it's a race base. So these are, for those that don't know, the N1s were cars that you could buy from Honda that were completely gutted already. They were stripped out. They didn't come with interior. They didn't come with wheels. They just came with like steelies. And then you can get them. Actually, no, they didn't come with a carpet or anything either. There's no sound deadening. They're completely like a base shell that Honda offered back then, which is a really cool option. They offered it to customers who wanted to build race cars or to do one-make races, basically. They just sold you a chassis, the engine, suspension, and that's it. They're really popular here in Osaka, so you probably see more N1s in Osaka than you do anywhere else in the Kansai area, just because Civics reign supreme here, you know? Like, they race them here. They've always raced them here, so I feel like Honda offered the N1 to customers in Osaka just because, like, it's an easier option to sell. Instead of selling someone a full car where they had to gut it anyways, they just gave you a car that you could just build. And this is what this one was. This was a Vogue Silver Metallic N1 chassis. And the original Champ white car was so damaged. I'll show you, I have plenty of photos of it, because as Yasu was parting the car out, he took photos of it. And he showed the extent of the damages, and I'll go over all that stuff with you guys today, just because I want you guys to understand that this is not the same car. It's so not even closely related to that old car that the only thing that remains from that car is the rear hatch and the taillights. Everything else is pieced together from different CTRs and brand new OEM Honda parts. In terms of just like body panels and everything, the silver car was pretty complete. It just didn't have suspension or engine. It was just like a raw N1 shell. And then it wasn't in terrible condition, but as Yasu went through it, he stitch welded the entire chassis, the engine bay, everything. Put in the Mugen cage, and then for the Mugen cage, you have to weld a base to it. And since the cage came out of another car, the base was already welded to that chassis, that blue chassis that I showed you guys. So we took the cage and the engine from that car, and that is now in this car, from the blue EK9. And so the cage base had to be welded in, then the cage was mounted, everything was painted. So the full car is painted a flame red color from the new FL5, or in the US we call it Rally Red. And this is the color I wanted just because I knew I wasn't going to be able to find an FL5 in this color, so I thought that it would be cool just to build another Type R and EK9 with that color, just so I can have the best of both worlds, right? I covered that in the first video, and there's still a lot more to go to, like in terms of parts and stuff that I could show you guys, but it's raining now, so I don't know how I'm going to do that. But in terms of the interior, this is probably the section of the car that needs the most work, just because the interior was kind of like the stuff that we did at the end to get the car to Wekfest. So there's some stuff that needs to be addressed. But just wanted to start off by telling you guys that this is not the same car. Like I repeat, this is not the same white EK9 that crashed. That car is in the trash now because it was so badly damaged that we did not even want to attempt to save it. This is a brand new Mugen steering wheel. Suede one that I got from a friend in California. Bought it brand new. And I put this in my suitcase and brought this here with me on this trip, just so the car had a steering wheel. I wanted something new, wanted something Mugen to match the Mugen bits that are on this car, so the steering wheel made perfect sense. I was originally going to save this for another project that I'll tell you guys about sometime later on, but now it's in this car, and it's a red stitch and everything, so it matches perfectly. There is a Battlecraft quick release, a Hyper RQR back here that you can see. You can see that it's kind of dirty too, because you're moving the car around, and then we haven't really had a chance to really clean it up since we got it back. But yeah, it has a quick release on there. This EK9 cluster is from a different car. It's technically still kind of a little mild one, I guess. But eventually, I don't know if I want to switch to a stack or to switch to something else. But for now, we have that cluster in there. This radio bezel is a... Yasu said it's a race-based one, so it doesn't have an emblem, but this one definitely looks like it used to have an emblem on it because you can see the adhesive from it still. So this is probably temporary also. I'll probably switch this out for something a little bit cleaner, just because I want the interior to be clean. The dash is in really good shape. It's also really hard to find dashboards now, and so we found one, and then our friend Shiga cut out this area here for the Mugen cage. So that's really nicely cut. It's missing the lower section here. We still have to replace this. The pedals, I'd like to get some Mugen pedals eventually, like a Mugen pedal set. This area needs a lot of addressing because, as you can see, there's currently no e-brake. We are missing the e-brake. We didn't have time to put it in for the show, so the car kind of went incomplete, but it was so last minute that we just ran out of time, but it needs an e-brake for sure. So Hybrid Racing shifter here. Huge thanks to the guys from Hybrid Racing for always supporting everything that we do. They literally just like give us product, give us whatever we ask for, and they like send it all the way to Japan and everything. So it's really nice of them. This is my personal Chronicles Year 10 shift knob, the Battlecraft shift knob. This is the original ones that I made, like, now it's been 4 years now. Everyone keeps asking for these, and then I never even saved one for myself when I originally released these. I had to buy this one. I had to get this one separately, just so I had one for myself, because I knew that one day I would have a Honda that I would be able to use this in. So this is a brand new Chronicles shift knob. This is a 40mm. And yeah, like this stuff right here, I kind of want to replace just because it's not super duper clean. I like that, like, you know, that more matte plastic. But I don't know if we can find any good ones anymore just because the car's so old. Like the wiring here needs to be addressed a little bit more. The door panel is also another thing that I'd like to replace. It has like the window net mount here. I don't know if I want to add one to mine because Yasu has a really nice Mugen one that he got me. But I don't know if I want to run the net, especially if I'm going to bring this car to California. I don't want to drive on the highway or any. Actually, I don't even know if I'm going to drive the car. But the fact that I have a window net option here is nice, but I don't know if I want to keep it. Because if I switch door panels, I don't know if I want to remount this, because whoever mounted this one kind of just mounted it like very randomly. But yes, I do have a window net for it for you guys that are into Kanjo stuff. This is still a traditional Osaka car, so I'd like to have the option of having that. This is a brand new zoom mirror that I ordered like maybe a week before I left to Japan. Because I know Yasu would be too busy to even consider it, and it would be kind of an afterthought to finally like to furnish the interior properly. So we got the zoom mirror. I actually got the wrong base, or they sent me the wrong base. I don't know if it's my fault or theirs, but we had to mount it this way right onto the top of the roof of the car, because CTRs normally, or EKs usually have a mount here already. So I don't know how that was going to work. I messed up somewhere, but it looks good. Like everything matches, so it looks nice. And somehow the red just kind of matches the flame red perfectly. And there's no headliner just because the car is pretty gutted. You can see the cage, and how the cool thing about the Mugen cage is that it's really tight against the chassis. So there's almost no gaps. But you can see how tight this thing is here. But love the cage. It's one of my favorite things about this car. Like I had an option to either run this cage or run a Saito cage, or even a Cusco one if we wanted to order one. But Mugen cages are super traditional, and I really like the fact that it mounts differently than most other cages do. So I really wanted it. And it's really cool because it also has the Mugen badge too. It's a nice little flex, you know, for people that love Mugen stuff. You can see the door panel. This one is in pretty decent shape. Missing a speaker. I don't know if I'm gonna have a speaker. I don't even know if I'm gonna have a head unit in mine, because like, why do I need one? But that's all stuff that needs to be addressed later on, or as the days go by. These are the Autobox Edition red seats that I have, the shrimp red seats. I eventually would like to switch to S1s, Mugen S1s, just to go with the theme. But these are really cool in here for now, just because they're so rare and like you never see them in the shrimp red color. Back here is fully gutted. This is probably going to stay this way in the future. I don't see me wanting to change anything back here, just because it's so gutted. I'm never going to put the interior back in because it's too hard to piece together a complete EK9 interior now. And I like the fact that everything's painted and you can see the cage and everything. So the windows are also tinted outside, so you can't really see that much inside, which is nice. Somebody suggested I switch to American glass just so it's clear, but I don't know. I kind of like the tinted glass now. Here is the outside of the car in its completed form. This is pretty much how the car is going to stay. Maybe a wheel change here or there, but I really like these wheels now and the way the tire and wheel fitment is with the suspension. So probably not going to change it because it just looks so good. Next to a legit flame red FL5, you guys can see the color now. Now you get the vibe. It's a darker red than a Milano, and hopefully this doesn't fade like Milano does, because Milano red often fades into like this weird pink hue, which I don't like, and that's why I didn't paint it Milano red. These are brand new EK9 headlights, brand new out of the box from Honda. It's kind of like a Yasu rule that if you build a new car, you got to put new headlights on it. And a lot of people have been asking about the hood, and this is what we call a Type T hood, Type T style hood in Japan. The company that originally made these hoods, they private labeled to companies like Jay's Racing. So a lot of you guys may recognize this as a Jay's Racing hood, but it's actually made by a completely different company that is now out of business. So they don't make these anymore. We bought the last batch that they had. I think I bought maybe like 10 hoods. Half of them carbon and half of them FRP. But this one is actually a full carbon hood. There's no way I can show you the carbon now because we painted the entire thing. I really wanted the car to have a color matched hood. I love carbon hoods, but I also think that they just look better matched. So everything is painted. Top side, underside, it's all red. These are Cusco hood pins. I don't like arrow catch pins, so I would never run arrow catch stuff on my car, just because I think they're just too bulky looking. So we went with a traditional hood pin. One of my favorite little modifications is the painted spoon mirrors. We put a red clear over it just so it matches the car more. And they came off a car that was tracked a lot, so it had a little bit of damage to it. So we were like, we might as well just fix it a little bit and then just put a red clear over it, you know, just to give it that custom touch. I know a lot of like die-hard spoon guys will probably be upset that you painted spoon mirrors because they're so hard to get now, but hey, why not, right? And it looks cool. Very subtle touch. Like if you looked at it from far away, you'd still think it was just a black mirror or a carbon mirror, but it actually has a very deep red hue to it. And you see it more in the sunlight than anything. You can't really see it now in the rain, but painted spoon mirrors. This is a look that was inspired by one of Takeshi's friends who used to have or he still has it. He has a Midori green EK9 that he painted to make it look like a USDM modified DX. And I believe he had painted spoon mirrors also. So it is an homage to that car because there's a huge amount of inspiration that comes from that car. Another one of my favorite modifications is the rear bumper. We did these speed pills back here, the cuts. Tofu did a great job of measuring them exactly how I wanted them to look, and it kind of adds such a really custom layer to an OEM rear bumper. And I got a lot of compliments on this, and yes, I agree, I really do love this look. This is the rear hatch from the original Champ White car. There's no damage to it, so we saved it. And then this is an Exceed wing. Eventually I might switch to a Seeker V2, but it's out of stock right now, so you might just hold off on that and just run this one for now. I love the profile of the car now too, but the exhaust is an old Vision Technica exhaust. Didn't want to run a straight pipe just because I wanted to switch things up a little bit, but the Vision exhaust sounded cool and it's another rare item, so I thought it would be cool to add to the car. Kind of hard to see it though, but it doesn't look too special. It's just your usual canister muffler, but has a nice deep tone to it, and it's cool to have vision stuff for a very traditional Japanese Honda build, I guess. The engine bay is pretty much where we want to have it. It's the B16B in here. It needs different injectors. It has RDX injectors in there right now, and the car runs really rich, so it doesn't run the smoothest because there's so much unburnt fuel in there. So that's going to need to be addressed. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Interior, engine bay, just some more accessories here and there. Like I want front and rear strut bars, but we haven't decided if we can find Mugen strut bars yet, or just go with Carbing or Cusco. So that's going to be addressed eventually. Just not anything that's urgent, you know. Everything that's urgent has been addressed. I think there's a little bit of a leak in the rear main seal that needs to be addressed also, but we are in good position. Toyota header has this nice bronze tint now that it's been heated up a couple times. Oh, I gotta change the radiator cap. Nothing against Gretty, but I just want a radiator cap that matches, or something that flows with the engine bay more. Got a ride wire harness, that's all buttoned up. Just little things here and there. Some water collecting over there from the rain. But yeah, the main things have been addressed, and this now is just finishing up, dress up, and some very minor mechanical stuff. But yeah, we're good to go. One of the biggest questions I have from a lot of you guys is, will the car make it to America like how I had originally planned for the white one to go? And I want to give maybe like a 80% yes that the car is going to make it to the US eventually. I really want the car to be kept over in the stateside, because I want like a full Exceed build to exist stateside, just so everyone can see it. You get to see like a traditional Osaka, Kansai area Civic build in the US, and that's really cool. It'd be cool to have it for my own collection, and Yasu needs the space here. That is the most important thing, and that's probably one of the main reasons why this car is going to be going to the US later on down the line. I don't know when. I think maybe we'll try to keep this car here for the rest of the year, maybe a little bit next year, take it to some events and stuff like that, and then we'll try to get the car shipped over to the US with the Mintia car, the Mintia EK race car. And I think Yasu wants that car to be in the US so that it can be a track car in the US. I don't know who's going to drive it. Probably Christian. And then whenever our friend Ikigami goes to the US, he can drive that car too at track events. But it's another car that I want to keep in the US. I think it'll be really cool to have the Mintia car there. And it's like, it'll just be cool just to have two cars that came out of Exceed sitting in the US, you know? And I can bring it out to events so that you guys can see the car and stuff. And there's a lot of stuff in the pipeline. Wow, this steering hub is loose. It's kind of dangerous. So I gotta tighten this up. And then, yeah. Thanks everybody for all the support. I know this car kind of came out of nowhere and kind of surprised everybody. And the crazy story behind it and why we built this car. But super stoked with how the car has been received. I love that everybody's happy that I'm finally back in a 90s Honda. And huge thanks to Yasu and his crew and all his friends for, dude, like spending so much time putting this car together. I came here from California maybe like the weekend before Wekfest. I pulled a muscle in my back. Dude, I could barely get off the plane. Like, it took me an hour to get through customs just because I had to walk so gingerly through the airport. I didn't really want to tell anybody because it's embarrassing. And then I know my mom's gonna freak out about it just because she's always worried about me traveling so much. But dude, this thing came together and I love it. Like, I know a lot of you guys always make fun of me for not being enthusiastic and like not being excited for anything, especially you guys have been watching for so long. But dude, this was special. This was fun. Like, I can't believe that this car is mine, and I can't believe that we put it together. And I myself cannot believe the backstory behind why we built this car. But everything happens for a reason. A true lemon to lemonade story, you know. And now we have this bright flame red EK9 that someday will make it over stateside. And it's a car that you guys will be able to see. So thanks everybody once again for watching, and I will see you next time as I continue my Japan journeys here. I'm here for the rest of the month, so hopefully I have some more cool stuff to show you guys. Peace out.